Hello, so this is part 2 of this video. Yesterday I began solving this practice of two-step inequality word problems, and I've reached these questions and I solved it correctly eventually, but I wasn't sure about the correct answer, so I kept thinking about this problem. And now I feel that I do understand it in a way that I can explain the solution. So, the swimming pool is open when the high temperature is higher than 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so for the swimming pool to be open, the temperature needs to be greater than 20 degrees Celsius. So it means that the pool is closed when the temperature is less than or equal to 20 degrees Celsius. Okay? So on the number line, if this is 20 degrees Celsius, so to illustrate the solution set, all the numbers that are less than or equal to 20 means that the swimming pool is closed. Okay, that's what they say in the first sentence. So the swimming pool is open when the high temperature is higher than 20 degrees Celsius. Okay. Lainey tried to swim on Monday and Thursday, which was 3 days later. The pool was open on Monday, but it was closed on Thursday. Okay, so on Thursday, the swimming pool was closed, which means that on Thursday, the temperature needs to be less than or equal to 20 degrees Celsius, because they say that the pool was open on Monday, but it was closed on Thursday. So if it was closed, it means that the temperature was less than or equal to 20 degrees Celsius, because the pool is open only when the high temperature is higher than 20 degrees Celsius, not including 20 degrees Celsius. So if it is exactly 20 degrees Celsius, it is still not open. It will be open only when the high temperature is higher than 20 degrees Celsius. So if it is exactly 20 degrees Celsius, it is still closed. So if on Thursday the swimming pool was closed, it means that the temperature on Thursday was less than or equal to 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, now they tell us that the temperature on Monday was 30 degrees Celsius, but it decreased at a constant rate in the next 3 days until it reached a temperature of less than or equal to 20 degrees Celsius. So from Monday to Thursday, 3 days passed, and the temperature went down from 30 degrees Celsius to an unknown degree that is less than or equal to 20 degrees Celsius. So we begin the inequality with 30 degrees Celsius on Monday. Now we decrease the temperature for the next 3 days. So 3 is the number of days. And D, write an inequality to determine the rate of temperature decrease in degrees Celsius per day, D, from Monday to Thursday. So from Monday to Thursday, there are 3 days. So 3 times D. D is the rate of decrease per day. So 3 times an unknown temperature decrease needs to be less than or equal to 20 degrees Celsius. Okay? So this is the inequality. So 30 minus 3 times D needs to be less than or equal to 20. And now the solution is the solution set. We need to simplify this inequality. So the first thing we do, we subtract 30 from both sides of the inequality, and on the left side of the inequality we are left with minus 3d, because positive 30 minus 30 cancel out each other, so we are left with minus 3d on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we have 20 minus 30. So 20 minus 30 is minus 10, so minus 3d is less than or equal to minus 10. Now we need to isolate the d, so we need to divide both sides of the inequality by minus 3. And since we are dividing by a negative, this will flip the inequality sign from less than or equal to greater than or equal to. So d is greater than or equal to, and on the right hand side we have minus 10 divided by minus 3. Okay, and because negative divided by negative is positive, so d has to be greater than or equal to 10 over 3. Okay, so now we can plug in, so this is the result, and to test this result we can plug in a value in the original inequality to test if this result is correct. So 30 minus, let's say this is 1 and 2/3, 1 and 1, d needs to be greater than or equal to 10/3 is the same thing as 3 and 1/3. Okay, 3 goes into 10 3 times, and we have 1 remainder. So 10/3 is the same thing as 3 and 1/3. So the original inequality says 30 minus 3d. So let's plug in 4, for example, which is greater than 3 and 1/3. Or let's plug in exactly 3 and 1/3 to see if the inequality holds, because it says that d has to be greater than or equal to 3 and 1/3. So let's take the minimum value that is possible. So 3 times 3 and 1/3, or 3 times 10/3. So 30 minus 3 times D, which is 10/3, has to be less than or equal to 20. Okay, so 3 times 10/3, the 3 and the 3 cancel out each other, so 30 minus 10 is 20, and 20 is indeed less than or equal to 20. Okay, and if we will plug in any value that is greater than 10/3, so for instance 30 minus 3 times, instead of 10/3, which is 3 and 1/3, let's plug in 4, for instance. It has to be less than or equal to 20. So 3 times 4 is 12. 30 minus 12 is 18. So 18 is indeed less than or equal to 20. Okay, so now I feel confident that this is the correct solution, and this is the inequality. Okay. So I've already okay, so D has to be greater than or equal to 10/3, and I've already checked this solution yesterday and it was correct. So now I can move on to the next question. Okay, so let's copy the question to the board. Now let's see what the story is now. Joey Chestnut is trying to break his own record for eating the most whole hot dogs in 10 minutes. He needs to eat more than 72 hot dogs to break his record. After 1 minute, Joey has eaten 11. After 1 minute, he has eaten 11 and 1/4 hot dogs. Let D represent the number of hot dogs Joey eats per minute for the next 9 minutes. Okay. Okay, so he has eaten 11 and 1/4 of hot dog after 1 minute, plus he has 9 minutes left, times D, which represents the number of hot dogs he needs to eat per minute for the next 9 minutes. So 9 times an unknown number of hot dogs. This needs to be the number of hot dogs he already ate during the first minute, plus the number of hot dogs he will eat in the 9 minutes that are left, has to be greater than 72. Okay. So 11 and 1/4 plus 90 has to be greater than 72. Okay. Will Joey break his record if he eats 6 hot dogs per minute for the next 9 minutes. Okay, so if this is the inequality and we plug in 6 instead of D, so 11 and 1/4 plus 9 times 6 has to be greater than 72. So 9 times 6 is 54. Okay, so 54 plus 11 and 1/4 is 50 plus 10 is 60, 61 and 1/4 is not greater than 72. This is incorrect. So 6 is not sufficient for him to eat per minute for the next 9 minutes if he wants to break the record. It's not 61, sorry. 54 is 11, this is 5, this is 6, this is 65 and 1/4. But it is still less than 72. So 6 is not sufficient for him to eat per minute for the next 9 minutes if he wants to break the record. Okay, check. Good. Okay, next question. The latest online craze is the new game, Canon 7. You get 100 points for playing the game. In addition, you get 50 points for each 7-letter word you make with the 10 letters you receive. Sal wants to break the record and he needs 18,000 or more points to do so. Write an inequality to determine the number of 7-letter words W Sal could make to break the record. Okay, so the record is 18,000. If he wants to break the record, he needs 18,000 or more. Okay. So the number of points Sal scores, needs to be greater than or equal to 18,000 if he wants to break the record. So he gets 50 points. Sorry, he gets 100 points for just playing the game. Plus, you get 50 points times W for each 7-letter word he makes. Okay. So 100 plus 50 times W, which is the 50 is the score for each 7-letter word, and W represents the number of 7-letter words he needs to make to break the record, then he will reach 18,000 or more. Okay. So the inequality is 100 plus 50W. Has to be greater than or equal to 18,000. Okay, graph the solution. The solution set on this to this inequality. Okay, so I need to simplify this inequality. So first, I will subtract 100 from both sides. So on the left-hand side, I'm left with 50W, and on the right-hand side, 50W needs to be greater than or equal to 18,000 minus 100. So 50W needs to be greater than or equal to 17,900, right? Okay, so now let's divide 17,900 by 50. So 50 goes into 179 3 times. 3 times 50 is 150. Subtract 9 minus 0 is 9. 7 minus 5 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. Bring down the 0 here. So 5 goes into 295 times. Five times 50 is 250. Subtract, we have 40 left. Bring down the 0, 400. 50 goes into 400 8 times. So the result is W has to be greater than or equal to 358. Okay, so the dot has to be on 358 and W has to be greater than or equal to 358. So all the numbers are to the right of 358 and the circle is not an open circle but a solid circle because all the numbers has to be greater than or equal to 358, which means 358 itself is included in the solution set. Okay. Good. Okay. So thank you for watching, and since I had one mistake in this practice, I will do this practice again. So I will see you in the next video.